Well, it is our pleasure to welcome to the Elite Sports Podcast former light heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Tarver, and his son, Antonio Jr., who has a fight coming up May 25th in Biloxi, Mississippi. Antonio, guys, welcome to the show. Antonio, I know you've been training, Junior. I know that things have been going really well. We've seen some of the videos. He seems to be in really good shape. Who else has been helping you guys out, and how's it been going?
We've been blessed to have Miguel Cruz come down and give us some championship work, and that, I believe, really, sold me and showed me that, Junior have everything it takes, man, to compete with the very best. And, May 25th is just, the beginning, and I think it's a great matchup. And if you're looking at styles, when you say styles make fights, this is a great matchup, for Junior at this stage of his career, fighting another, and, it's another prospect. So, only thing is, Junior is a young fighter, but, this 1 year layoff, I wasn't too, happy about, but he's shown that there's no ring rust or nothing. He's there, man. He's in great shape. So he's going to put that on display May 25th. I'm just honored to be, in his corner. So that's what it's all about right now with us.
Absolutely, and it's funny to think about at 31, Junior being referred to as kind of as a prospect, being an older prospect, which is kind of funny to think about at 31. It's definitely young for me anyway. But I'll tell you, you kind of started, your pro career really got going at around 27, 28. Do you think there's an advantage to that? Because I don't think Junior has kind of the doesn't have the wear and tear and the rust on him that maybe a fighter would that had started at 13, 14. Kind of talk about that.
Well, I mean, he's on the path he's on. We can't change where he's at right now. So, we're not going to hinder ourselves in no kind of way. We're not going to put no, bridges in front of us that's not there. He's a young 31, obviously. He didn't have no long amateur career, so, he didn't abuse his body. He didn't, have 200, 300 fights. You don't have no wear and tear. So, we don't know if it's an advantage or not, but we know it's not a disadvantage. So, he's fighting a young fighter. He's 25 years old. So, if his age is a difference, if it's going to make a difference, we're going to see May 25th.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Of course, you guys train, fighting out of, the Tampa area. And I think the fight was supposed to originally be in Daytona. And Junior, if you're there, buddy, what was it like? You get this fight kind of moved over to Biloxi. Is there anything about that's problematic for you? Problematic for the training? Is it just, hey, the fight's where it is, and we'll be there and we'll be ready to roll?
Oh no, it wasn't nothing that changed anything. As long as the fight was on the 25th, it didn't really matter if it was in Biloxi or Daytona Beach. It would have been better. It would have been good if it would have been in Daytona Beach, but hey, it's in Biloxi, Mississippi on a big card. I got that stage to be able to show my talents and be able to just show what I have as Antonio Tarver Jr. And that's all I really want to do, man. I just don't want these long layoffs. If I can stay busy just with a year layoff, and I'm like going to go out here and handle my business on the 25th. And if they can get me busy, man, oh my gosh, it's sky's the limit for me.
Well, Antonio, you've not only working with Junior here and what a prospect he is, but you've launched the Train with the Champ campaign. It's geared towards creating a championship community through boxing and fitness. Just kind of talk about what that's been like for you personally, being able to meet and train people that are probably just coming in, just starting the sport, just coming in and to have a chance to train with you, and what that's been like, kind of training some of those guys.
Well, I look at boxing fitness, as a health, remedy in a lot of ways, because it just gets people fit, it gets people to challenge themselves within. And we know the benefits of, that hand and eye coordination. We talk about, dementia and all of these other things that the elderly people are really struggling with right now. And I think they're doing some programs all over the country. But, with me, I just like helping people in general, because in boxing, you get to connect with people from a personal standpoint, people sharing things with you and how you're helping them and how they're benefiting from it. and they're learning a sport that they've always loved, and to be able to, even be, trained by someone that they look at, I think more so from the Rocky movie, I got a lot of fans, and, we just have a good time, man. And I really enjoy, being able to just be a part and do something positive in the community, man. I wish I had more time to just stay in the gym, but life calls, so, I can't spend a lot of time, and I don't get a chance to work with as many people, but, because it just takes up a lot of time. But, we working on something that may free up more time where I can give of myself, more so in the future.
Yeah, we recently lost the great Harold Letterman. Can you talk about kind of your memories of him on HBO Boxing and what he means to the sport?
Oh, man, he was definitely, as a judge, an icon. People really, looked up to, Harold's point of view on boxing, his knowledge of the game, man. And I remember just as a youngster, man, just dreaming about being on HBO at the time, and having an opportunity to get to know him, even work with him sometimes. At times I had a chance to work with him. Just a stand-up guy, man, and carried himself like a gentleman always, and we're going to miss him, man. We've been losing a lot of icons in the game, but we know that's life, man. We just got to keep them alive in memory, and, and just remember the good times that they shared with us, and just be thankful that we had a chance to touch him and say that, hey, I had a chance to know someone, that was as great as he was. And his daughter, too, man, she carrying on in his footsteps. She started in the judge years ago and is one of the best judges out there also. She, also should get some credit, for her IQ and knowledge that he passed down to her. So, that's all it's about, man, carrying on that legacy, man. And I think that's what, we're trying to do right now.
Well, can you just talk about the state of boxing today? Obviously, you've done some broadcasting for the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and that's been a sport that's kind of caught on. It's been a lot of popularity there. But today, you got a guy like Deontay Wilder. He fights this weekend. Of course, you've seen Canelo, Triple G, some epic fights. Your son Antonio Jr. is a up and coming prospect. Just talk about the state of boxing today and kind of how you see things today.
Man, the state of boxing is really healthy. We're getting more people right now. It's an international sport. You have, the zone right now, bringing that international crossover feel to the game. You got guys like Anthony Joshua, fighting in New York. Man, that's a big deal. So, boxing right now is healthy, I think. And you have, the juniors are trying to make their imprint in the game, and, and the juniors, I think are going to be, going to do their own thing and be good at it, man. I see a lot in myself and Junior, meaning his style, meaning his heart, and his ability. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, man. And like I said, one thing is constant with Junior when he steps in the ring. He's exciting. And you can't buy that. You know what I mean? You either have that or you don't. So, I think the people are going to see that excitement when they, on the 25th, and he's like that in sparring. Every time I've ever seen him in the ring, he's been exciting. So, that's his moniker. That's what's going to make him unique. And I think he's a crowd, like a fan-friendly style. He has a fan-friendly style. He's aggressive. He can punch. He really loves to dig to the body. And, he has his reflexes and his instincts in the ring, are really good, sharp. So, I'm not worried about it. I mean, if a fight breaks out, he's cool too. You know what I mean? So they're gonna understand, about the pedigree, man. And I ain't for the toot to your horn, man. But somebody's gonna have to promote it. You know what I mean? And if that's my calling, then that's what it's gonna be. But like I said, he got that dog in him, and they're gonna realize that. You feel me? So I can't wait till the 25th, man. And he's going in confident, and he put the work in. He's prepared. So it's his time. It's his time. So like he said, He's going to put the 154-pound division on notice. That's it.
Absolutely. And Junior, this one's for you. Your dad's been quoted as saying, the game don't love nobody, and skill pays the bills, and you got to have poise. Just going off those, what are some of the most important things that your dad's taught you about the game?
Oh, man, you got to respect the game, man. You got to respect every opponent that step in the ring with you, no matter what the record says or, the power says or anything. You got to respect that first. And then, secondly, is defense, man. He stressed that I'm talking. I'm so tired of hearing it, but it's the most important thing. Seriously, the most important thing is defense, man. You gotta protect yourself at all times because it only takes one shot, and it could change. It could change the fight. It could change everything. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely what he stressed the most, and the hard work. I already got that. I've been working 40 hours a week and going and train 3 hours in the gym and running. I show my dedication, so somebody got to pay for them. Definitely, man. And that's the key, man. He just defense and movement, and make sure that I'm unbalanced when I throw my punches and not have my chin up high. If you give somebody a chin, it only takes, like you said, it only takes one shot, man. I think that's the best thing you can get from your dad. And he always pushing me. He always messing with my mom, trying to make sure that I'm mentally and physically ready. But really mentally, you know I'm be physically ready, but it's just really mental, man. And man, he constantly on my ass about it every day. He talk on the phone with me for 30 minutes. I'm like, Dad, oh my gosh. But hey, that's what I love about it, man. That's the perk of having Antonio Tarver as your dad, and he's been in my corner.
Well, of course, the fight is against Thomas Hill. It's coming up May 25th in Biloxi, Mississippi. Antonio, this was for you because we're such huge fans of the Rocky series, and I just wanted to kind of a general question to you about that. Obviously, that film, you'd already established yourself as light heavyweight champion. You'd already had your epic win over Roy Jones Jr. and beaten him, and a lot of people already knew you. And that's what made it such a realistic situation. You come into to Rocky Balboa, and it was such a realistic portrayal of a fighter. Just kind of talk about that process coming in doing that film, and kind of how your life changed after doing that film.
Oh man, that was just one of those unbelievable moments in time. Well, you've been blessed. I as a kid, following the franchise, being a young amateur, man, I remember eating raw eggs, doing one-arm push-ups. I mean, that was life, Rocky, man. That was big for us back in those times. So I never thought or dreamed that, one day I can be a part of that franchise. So, that's one of those things I continue today to pinch myself. It's a blessing, and to be able to go in there and do that job was amazing, man. I learned a lot from Sylvester Stallone, with genius of a man, with his writing and directing ability. So I learned a lot, man, and I just, hindsight, man, I probably would have, really stayed involved a little bit more, in that lane, more so than, coming back to boxing. I probably just should have stayed out there in Hollywood, I believe, man. I think hindsight, I think I could have did that. I still, want to, get back out there and do some work, man, because I think, I was good at it. I think I had a knack for that. So, that's what I'm also working on right now, looking for an active agent that can really, put me in position to, maybe get off and do some more acting, why not,
Absolutely, and we kind of have a fan question pertaining to that from Twitter. This is from Sam Robinson, at SRobinson25. His question, what effect, if any, did gaining weight for Rocky Balboa have on your career, considering what happened against Hopkins upon your return to the light heavyweight division?
Well, I mean, again, I'm not going to make an excuse to say that, the weight, had an issue. I just think, man, I should have had a tune-up fight. I mean, that fight was kind of forced on me when you look at the fact Hopkins was coming off of 2 defeats to Jermaine Taylor, moving up 2 weight classes. I didn't have no business even fighting Bernard Hopkins. He wasn't in my weight class. So the fight was kind of forced on me 2 months after I gained up to 233 pounds. That's documented on the scale for Rocky Balboa. Nobody even talks about that. But that's the main excuse everybody used for me, beating Roy Jones. But that I would never understand. But, so that may it be. I lost the decision. I lost my title. More so, I lost my status as a champion because I never gained it back after that. But, hey, that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. But, even though I went on to win the title 2 times after that, and even won the title at 42 years old, knocking Danny Green out in Australia, far away from home, a fight that nobody saw, So, hey, it's what it is, man. But, right now, like I said, it's Tarver Jr. time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if it's crazy to think about kind of the lineage here and what he has. I mean, obviously, when you accomplish so much, and he grows up around it. If this one's for you, Junior. At what point did you decide? You know what, this is something I want to try. I want to give this a try. I mean, obviously, it probably wasn't pushed on you like you need to do this. But what about this made you want to jump in the ring and give it a go?
I was actually my trainer, rest in peace, Jimmy Williams. My other trainer that also trained my dad. He took me on his wing, man, at like 86, and he was just telling me, "Tarver, you can be champion." He was seeing things that I can do, and I started at like 19, so I really didn't take it seriously to about 20, 21, 22, 21, yeah, somewhere around there, like 21, 22. And we end up going to Keith Thurman gym in St. Pete. We always say over there, but I ended up smart Keith Thurman. He's like number 1, number 2 in the world at the time. And we sparred him, and I gave him hella foul work. And he gave me a purse, and he gave me $6 grand. And I was like, wow, like. And my trainer was like, hey, this is what you work. You know what I'm saying? Tarver, this is what you work. I said, what? I said, all right. And he was like, you can do it. And I was like, that was number 1 at a time. So I was like, well, I gotta take a run for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put all my eggs in one basket. I told my dad, look, man, I want to take this seriously, and we need to get on and go. And ever since then, man, that's what I've been running for.
Junior, if you're able to win this fight against Thomas Hill, and he's an accomplished guy for his age, for I think 25, he's been in some big situations, been in some big fights. If you're able to win this, kind of where do you see your career trajectory going from here?
My career?
Yes. Should you win?
I want to, I just want to, this year I want to finish the year up pretty good. I want to finish, at least get about 3 to 4 fights this year, and then next year come in and get 5 fights, and then 2 years tops, man. I want to at least try to fight for a title and gain that title, and keep it going from there and stay undefeated.
Yeah, definitely cheering for that. I tell you what, we can't thank both of you guys enough for joining us here. Of course, the fight is against Thomas Hill. It is May 25th in Biloxi, Mississippi. We're going to be cheering you on, man. And I know, Champ, Antonio, you're going to be there in the corner, and we just can't thank you guys enough for taking the time. And best of luck. We're going to be cheering for both of you guys coming up here, man. Thanks so much.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
It was an honor. Take care.